Well, that's always
and cool at night too.
They always talk about. I find it funny because they say heat and sunlight will wreck bourbon in a bottle, right? But then I'm going. Last time I checked, warehouses where they store the bottles, that stuff. They don't ship the bourbon in refrigerated semis.
No.
So, and then it goes to a warehouse, and I guarantee you, most of the warehouse aren't. Then it comes to the air-conditioned store. Yeah, but bourbon has or whiskey has the ability to absorb the different heats, considering that's how it was made in the first place.
Yeah, it can withstand. I mean, I wouldn't leave a bottle of bourbon open in the sun for a month.
Oh, no.
Expect it to not, taste exactly the same, but definitely as long as bourbon's sitting in your house, you're pretty much fine. It's not like wine where you don't want to leave wine, it's 80 degrees for 3 hours, and then you're going to cut off before you start to cook it. So yeah. So I think one of the only fights I've ever had with my wife was she turned the AC off for a weekend out of Europe, and we put it back and it's like 85 or 90 in the last week. Just cooked all the wine. You got wine in the house. You gotta leave it at 78. You have wine. You can't really, you don't have a choice. It's not in a wine fridge, obviously, which it wasn't. So
right.
Still find one of those bottles.
Usually the wine fridge has the stuff you can drink. Not the stuff you have stored. And coming from California, it makes sense that
we got a lot of wine. Yeah. We're wine drinkers. We drink everything. Rum, gin, tequila, mezcal, wine, beer. Pretty much everything but IPAs, I would say. That's probably my last time on this, but I'll drink it if it's hot enough and I'm thirsty. I'll drink it. Okay.
Hey, Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Tiny here to tell you about Log Still Distillery. Log Still Distillery is forging new roads for generations to come at their old Kentucky home by bringing bourbon back to Gethsemane. Guided by Wally Dant and cousins Lynn and Charles Dant, Log Still is firmly built on faith and family. They fill each bottle with respect while honoring the history of bourbon and their family itself, ever mindful that faith, family, community, and bourbon paved the way for future generations. They invite you to visit them in Gethsemane. Sure, you'll find a lot that's shiny and new, but what you'll feel is something deep and soulful. Visit them also on the web at www.logstilldistillery.com.
Yes, he's going to tell you about this unique product.
Yeah, this
really is a cool idea.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean,
you want me to do
I've been
cooler and the old American from Luke America? You'll introduce our
the headphones.
All right.
It's all right there.
Yeah.
Watch.
Cheers. 3, 2, 1. I think I can get all 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Sit up.
You got that?
All right.
After the song, I'm going to introduce. Say Kenny Fuller.
All right, so we play a 30-second spot for our sponsor, and then we go to our theme song. Once that's done, we kind of get going into the podcast, and we're right there. Here we go.
This is Alan Bishop, head alchemist at Spirits of French Lick. Be on the lookout for a brand new bottled and bond Solomon Scott rye whiskey. Made from a mash composed of 65% rye, 35% corn, and 5% victory malt. This 5-year-old 100 proof rye whiskey is a throwback to early 1800s style rye whiskeys of the Ohio Valley. Named after the legendary Daisy Spring Mill distillery owner turned moonshiner Solomon Scott of Paoli, Indiana. Remember, drink responsibly and never drink and drive.
Sure fun to watch. We love what we do. We're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling
Kenny Fuller with our theme song from the Old Americana Band from Luca Mariano Distillery.
Yeah.
And today we'd like to welcome Seth Benhaim from Broken Barrel Whiskey.
And
Yes.
we have Roxy and Super Nash and Tiny and Whiskey.
All right, we are full. We're right from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, still
Yes.
here, having fun. The third day, we're us and I think they might be
Technically
down.
the
Yeah,
fourth
they're
day.
taking it down. But yeah, actually the fourth day. So we've been here all couple of days. Yesterday we were trying to get Seth on for at least Chris was working on it, and he was working on it for a long time. But I'm glad
You guys were
finally have
lined
you
up
here.
across the field
It's
yesterday
relaxing
working.
today,
Yeah.
right? A little more relaxed.
So, Seth, to just get right into it, it's like, give us how you got to Kentucky Bourbon Festival this year.
I'm sure, yeah. We were here last year, and we had a great time. This year they said we could sell bottles, so we ended up coming back with a few more people, and we're doing that, and it's been a blast.
But I think actually we met last year.
Yes.
I think that's where I first met you at Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
And then
last year.
I think we saw each other briefly at the other event this summer, the barbecue one.
I talked to
Logsdale.
Yeah.
I was talking to the other guy that
Mike, who's
Mike,
not
yeah.
here. We have 3 mics now. A lot of mics. We need nicknames like y'all's, like
So if there's
Tiny.
no.
You guys got to give us some nicknames. So
We can do that.
All right.
But
Yeah.
you need to look for. We were talking to Francesco Viola, and they're setting up shop in Danville. You said you were coming down to look at something, whatever. So
Yeah.
you got to find if there's a Mikesville, Kentucky. 'Cause
Mikesville.
all their people all their employees are named Dan. It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Even Ryan, it's Ryan Dan.
Yeah, he was talking about that. They had 3 or 4 days within their
that's
family.
a lot of Chris's and a lot of Mikes with us that we work with. Those 2 names seem to be really popular.
Hey, Chris, did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm very popular.
So yeah, that's awesome. But your product is, what would you say, unique?
Yeah, very different.
on so many levels. You're still dealing with the wood aspect of it, but
Yes.
I think it's a great concept. And actually, over the summer, heard you guys before. I think it was after Bourbon Festival last year. You were on the Bourbon Road, and you guys were up touring. I think it was. Were you with them, or was it Mike?
Yeah, I get out here and work the market too. So Monday, Tuesday, you asked how we got here. Well, I came in Monday and ended up working in Louisville. While one of our mics was out in Owensboro, our vice president was out in Lexington and Frankfurt. So we've been kind of covering the state, trying to get as much distribution of Bourbon Barrel as possible. So yeah, it's been a lot of work, and that's what took me out to go see the Bourbon Road, actually.
Yeah.
Doing that with Mike and Jim. So
Yeah, and they were just talking about it, and that's where I got a really good. Last year but you got into detail.
yeah, sometimes.
So on that, and it's just what you were doing. So go through the whole process of how it happened, and then also the stress aspect of relieving stress. How you guys?
Yeah, so we have a different approach to bourbon whiskey than other Kentucky-based bourbons, or even bourbons from out of state. We take oak from used barrels, whether it's a used bourbon barrel, a used wine barrel, a Scotch barrel, a mezcal barrel. You name it, I've probably got my hands on it and smashed it with a sledgehammer. That's what we do. We take sledgehammers and we make a bit of a spectacle out of it, especially for the gram. We love to smash up barrels, and I've had 3 guys smash 1 barrel. I've tried to smash 2 barrels with 2 hammers before, 1 in each hand. Left hand not so good at it, but we have absolutely the most fun probably of any whiskey company when it comes to our process. The reason we have that process is we put a lot of information on our labels of our bottles, from our lowest proof, which is our wine finish, all the way up to our cast strength and even our limited editions. They all say where the whiskey's from. They tell you the source. It's from Owensboro. It's from Green River Distilling. We've been working with them since before they were called Green River, even though they were originally Green River. Now they're back to Green River. And then we take all that information, put it on the label, along with the mash bill of every whiskey and what we call the oak bill. So when we're putting those different barrel staves, full, whole, long staves from different barrels in combination, and letting it further age and finish our whiskey, we call that the oak bill. We also put that on the label so people can kind of turn the bottle and say, hey, this one's got 40% French oak, 40% used bourbon barrels, 20% sherry cask. So that's something that we're doing. You guys are Scotch drinkers, you would appreciate it, as am I. That sherry's awesome. We all love sherry, and sherry makes Scotch super delicious. And so I'm a big fan of that, and we wanted to bring that to bourbon and rye from Kentucky.
So smash it, put it in.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Brings a whole new
yeah. So the step by step would be distilling it, aging it for at least 2 years, so we can call them all straight bourbon, straight rye, straight American whiskey, we've done straight wheat whiskey. We don't call it straight, but we do have almost 4 years single malt we did. So we've done a little bit of everything, but all of them start like normal whiskey. Then we batch and blend different barrels of different years from the same distillery, put them all together into a tank or a smaller level of tote or even a single barrel in a drum, toss the staves into the whiskey that's been kind of blended, and then let that rest for a little bit longer.
All right, so you're tossing it into the tank or the drum, not back in. Now, have you done it where you put it back in the barrel with staves? You know,
no, we don't open the barrels up and then we don't know any coopers, so we're not reconstructing any barrels. You know, a lot of people, even like on podcasts, I hear people or YouTube videos, they'll be talking about the brand. This is a detail that I think a lot of people either don't understand or just didn't pay close enough attention and get it wrong. We aren't using a barrel that has a bunch of different staves from different barrels and reconstructing. We aren't doing it Maker's Mark. Uses new staves,
right,
from ISC or something like that. They'll use new staves and they'll lower that into the barrel. So a lot of people may be familiar with that concept, but this is different. Again, used barrels different than new staves. We don't have some scientific toast magic that we're doing. We just try to find really good partners that can supply really good barrels and
smash
work with them. Then really nice, beautiful barrels that we can break the shit and smash them up and destroy them virtually. You know, so we get like people like, hey, you know, we got some barrels that they're kind of like not the best condition or shape, you know, blah blah blah. Like, well, that's okay, especially if it's a used bourbon barrel, for example.
Right.
Like, oh, that's all right. You know, we'll take that. That's all right. So
this one's got cracks in the side.
Well, but I mean, that's kind of a cool thing of that you're doing. So, like you said, they're doing perfect toast at Maker's Mark and brand new staves, dropping them back in. But you're basically smashing the shit out of them. It's all mixing together and it's all going right in.
Yeah.
Once you get different things, but by smashing it and promoting that, I really think then that carries on to what you're doing for the whiskey. You know what I mean? It's not a perfected thing that you're like, you know, trying to put, you know, reopen a barrel, drop it in. You're basically smashing it and putting it in, and it's kind of like. And then you put that on you know, you put your logo out there. I mean, it's cool.
I was just wondering, we know that as a whole barrel, when you put the spirit in there, that it needs temperature change to force that spirit into the staves and back, back out. But now, as you break the staves up into pieces and float it in those tanks, now are those tanks are they subjected to temperature change?
Oh, there are definitely swings. You go into a bottling facility in the dead of summer at 4 o'clock and tell me it's nuts.
All right, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know if those tanks, I didn't know if those tanks were sitting in a temperature controlled area. Okay, so they are still getting their temperature changes, and also that it facilitates
they can only cool it to, you know. We started in Nevada when I came from the vodka side of the industry, and I had a vodka brand, still do, and so we were working out there. So our very first whiskey ever made, we actually just bought the barrels and sent them out of state until we could grow the brand to a certain group, brand new. So we were trying to grow the brand and get the numbers up, so we could get to the minimums required to work out of Owensboro. So in 2020, almost 2 years ago now, we started working with them, grain to glass. And if you go out to Owensboro, you do the tour and all that at Green River, you can probably walk by where our stuff is aging. It's like there's a couple of different buildings that they worked out of. That one has a bunch of steel tanks, drums, totes. Some of that stuff's probably filled and aging with our oak bill, going on that process in there. And it's hot. It's very hot.
Okay. So how did you get into this?
That'll be one.
It all started with the vodka brand. Back in 2012, I quit my job and said, I'm going to start a vodka company, and set up shop in my grandmother's garage. She took me out in there, and I was there for 2 years. No paycheck, nothing, just going in deeper and deeper in debt, trying to start a vodka brand. And then in 2015, I got some investors and started getting out of debt and getting paid, and moved out of grandma's and out of my parents, and kind of switching between the two, and got my life started. Yeah. That was all at the age of 24. Wow. So I'm 33 now, so 9.5 years.
Right. That's I mean, those are the kind of, it's funny because you got the brands that have, the 1800s, and then they're talking about, Elijah Craig started it.
Second generation.
Yeah, but whatever. But at the same time, at one point, they were doing it out of their barn.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they were 24, and it was, so it's the same thing. So then you're looking at the beginnings. Although when everything goes down, we'll all be in the ground. But no, I mean not from the point of history when it's all written.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It is fun. It's something I hope my family, if this brand stays in the family, and I can hold on to it. I love my family to work in this business and be a part of this industry. It's a phenomenal industry, as you guys know. Everybody's friendly. Everyone's out to help each other. It's collaborative. I'm collaborating with another distillery now on a project, and we're going to do some cool stuff. And you see, I think one of the things that I've been saying about this year is 2022 is going to be, has kind of been the year of collaboration. So whether it's Heaven's Door and Red Crest, or Leopold and Decker, or these combination products. I love seeing that. It's really, really fun. And so we're trying to do that with wineries, breweries, and distilleries. Kind of collaborate across the board.
It's really cool. The winery, the brewery gets the barrel, the bourbon barrel, ages the beer in the bourbon barrel, and then the bourbon company gets the barrel back and ages the bourbon in the barrel. It's just back and forth. And although that's not bourbon, it's whiskey though. And I think with what's coming up, as we keep going forward in this, especially with what's been happening with the barrels, we're going to see more and more American whiskey, which is bourbon, except for a used barrel or whatever. And there's going to be a lot of. That's still a market that's even barely.
Yeah, we're doing some American whiskeys that are not bourbons. That we had an 85% corn, 15% rye mash bill. That was 7 year in a used barrel. Never saw a new Chardo. So way lighter than our younger stuff. That's only 2 to 4 years old. So seeing the color differentiation.
Scotch.
Yeah, you see
you get that with Scotch,
and it's super light.
I mean,
It's
2-4. Yeah, so you guys are all drinking. Yeah, no, that's the process. I'll pour a little bit.
It has just beautiful warm.
I've been drinking it already.
It's past noon.
Yeah, it's okay.
So this is our rye. We call this our Heresy rye. And the reason I brought this one over for the story of it is when we started, we sourced some bourbon, and then we started getting into the idea of let's take this and let's make it with a new distilling partner. And so the first couple of people we talked to, one of them actually said to us, "We can't do that. That's heresy to take barrels and smash them up and then put wood in the whiskey." It's the other way around. Whiskey goes in the wood, not wood in the whiskey. And I said, well, you know what? I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. I want to do my way. I said, you know what? I like the name Heresy, so we were working on the rye concept for year 2, and we called it our Heresy Rye. So this is
they told you they can't do that.
yeah. So this is a
Isn't that the best when someone tells you?
They say no, and then you do it, and then you rub their face in it a little
Yeah,
bit.
because it's so damn delicious.
Yeah, it's very delicious.
What is amazing.
It's really good.
Yeah. This is Master Distiller is Jacob Paul over at Green River. And this has got 95% rye, 5% malted barley, and the oak bill is the 40% French oak, 40% ex-bourbon barrels in rye. And then 20% sherry, so there's a little sherry in there as well.
That's where those
I'm
fruits
just
are coming
kidding.
through.
Like, so I'm not a fan of I always
Over and over.
rye with that are celery vegetable kind of, and then that type of rye.
Yeah.
But I like the chocolate mint. But this isn't chocolate mint. This is just straight chocolate. I'm just picking up a ton of chocolate.
I get a little sherry on the nose too.
Yeah.
I get that. I
As you
get
say,
that.
there's some
Well,
stone
more like
fruit.
a chocolate candy, like that, like.
See, and I get more just like the warm toast, bread notes.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
very
grainy
bread.
bread.
It goes,
Grains
it
forward
goes
in my
milk dud on the
family.
front, and then dark chocolatini on the back with a little sherry on the
Yeah,
finish.
you get more sherry on
Our
the finish.
American,
Yes.
our American single malt is. If you think this is chocolatey, you'll be melting, drowning in chocolate. If you try
So
our
I have to go
single
buy
malt.
one of these.
Well, we don't have any to sell, but we do have one here we can taste.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, we were pouring some fun stuff at our booth.
You know,
Yeah,
but prior to, I was a Chardonnay drinker. I
Right.
loved to taste millions of different Chardonnays, and I
Yeah.
liked the oakier versions, but not too oaky, so that they get kind of bitter on the finish. So this has a really nice balance of the other
Very
and,
well.
a little bit of spice, not so much that
Yeah,
it
that's the thing.
fries you all the way down your esophagus.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm and huggy,
That light sherry just complements the
but those great spicy notes in the palate are really nice.
I can say honestly,
So,
it's not
this is
one of
Not
the
overbearing.
better.
Yeah, so that's
This is one of the better ryes I've tasted.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
honest.
Very
absolutely.
drinkable.
I'm not just saying because you're on the podcast.
No, and I'm not even. I don't like.
I mean,
wine.
I
You know
Heaven's
that.
Door I killed. This is delicious.
yeah.
There's
This
only a
one's
select
about
few ryes that are-
$35 a bottle,
wow.
Yeah,
It's
so-
a great price.
and it's 105 proof. 105 proof, 52.5.
I like the bottom.
The
It
bottom, yes, the
gets the
mouthfeel
mouthfeel.
is-
Really?
Yes,
yeah.
very.
That's it. $35 a bottle.
Yeah, it's a very, very approachable.
Jeff's just doing the math in his head, see if he's got $35.
I don't.
On day
No,
3.
I
I gotta pay him.
He doesn't.
I got nothing.
He's broke. He's broke.
No, I got it.
The bank
says you're broke.
Yeah.
He's bourbon poor.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
We
going
hear
to
from
like-
the
Don't
bottom.
have it.
Very poor, but he's rye rich.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
there you go.
Coleman could get a $6 million loan for the bank, I could get a 35
from
this
the
bank.
rats,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bank of rats.
You might not like the terms.
I'll think about it.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to get out, or do you?
Well, yeah, I definitely hope everyone listening has a chance to sign up for our mail letter. That's where all the news about new releases, us, where we're going to be, what events we're going to be at. Maybe there's something we're doing. We were out in Wisconsin Music Festival a few nights ago.
Bourbon on the
We were at
Banks.
Bourbon on the Banks. Like, if you want to get updates to where we're going to be, sign up for the newsletter on our website.
What's
going
your-
to
yeah,
Bourbon
what's your-
Banks,
what's
right?
your-
So
Do
it's
that.
brokenbarrelwhiskey.com, and then also follow us at Broken Barrel Whiskey. We also make tons of announcements, check our stories. I don't always post a photo or a video necessarily, but I always put up, I can get a story out real fast all day long, so we get stories up, have a lot of information, links, where to buy certain items. If we're looking for some of the rarer, more obscure releases like our Honey Smoke or our Cruciferous Single Malt, which are two of our most recent releases for this quarter. And then we'll have a couple more coming out in the fourth quarter. That's what's going on. So yeah, check us out, follow us. We look forward to making new friends, new fans, and drinking with more people.
Yes, absolutely. Great.
We loved having you on. And so we finally did it. It's been a while. We were talking about it. But I mean, I've tasted.
Cheers.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
Yes.
I'm on number 2 and it's gone.
So www.scotchybourbonboys.com checks us out for all things that are Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and also we are on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Plus,
it's a good ride. Check out our store so you can get some wind carry glasses, t-shirts, other swag.
yeah. So
This is, I'll be honest, the process sounds weird to me, but this is good.
It is.
it sounds
Trust the
exciting.
process.
Yes, right.
Yes.
I mean, you should see. Like, I've been listening to different
Just go watch the smashing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the
Like, even
smashing.
Watch,
I mean,
It just makes you want to just smash
So when
something.
he played on this one, they're at the point where they're doing, but he played the smashing down. I mean, they get into the smashing.
This is kind of hear like the unofficial anthem of ours, probably like Limp Bizkit break stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. Like, that's kind of the vibe. If I had to explain it in a song, it would be break stuff. Like,
Exactly.
So that's our brand. That's our vibe.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
thanks for
That's
having
very
us.
cool.
We'll let you have
Very
your time.
cool and awesome vibe.
And we'll let
Yeah.
little Steve-O take us out.
Cheers.
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 Thanks for coming on.
I'm empty.
Yes.
Oh, show me the way to the next
Really good.
whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask
A
why.
long reach from the outside.
Show
I haven't
me
had
the
enough.
way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
Yeah, all right. We're out.
Yeah, but if we stop recording, I'm just gonna quit. Get this saved.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
No, take that glass with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, take it.
Yeah,
Oh,
take
yeah.
that glass with you.
Cheers. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Thank you.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
Hey, Scotchy Bourbon Boys fans, this is Alan Bishop, Indiana's alchemist of the Black Forest. So I'm tuning in here today to tell you all about the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute channel on YouTube. If you're at all interested in the art of distilling, whether it be home distilling or professional distilling, and the intense geekery that goes into that process, then check out the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube. I promise you're going to learn something you didn't know before about the arts.